Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, and with me today on the podcast is a Twitch streamer, moderator, and Steam curator, CheeseWhis. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, not a problem. All your links will be down in the description below, including Twitch, Steam, and Twitter. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a little bit of a crazy night last night, but recovering today.
Was it a stream yesterday, or was it just like a birthday bash, or?
It was kind of a birthday celebration with my family. It's this annual thing we kind of go to every year, and sometimes we have a few too many drinks.
Yeah, my family doesn't really do much. Well, I mean, we do celebrate birthdays, but it's not like a whole party event kind of thing, like it sounded that you do. Drinks all around. I guess my parents just aren't big drinkers. I'm not a big drinker myself, to be honest with you. But
fair enough.
I drink sweet tea a lot. Is that drinking?
We'll count it.
Yeah. So did you get anything nice for your birthday, or just the party is it?
I went to Alita Battle Angel earlier this week and saw that in the VIP theater even, so that was fancy. And I'm probably actually going to be getting a capture card for my computer, so that'll be pretty cool.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
That's cool. How was Atla? I've been hearing good things about it. Obviously, it's made by the person who did Avatar, so the special effects are probably off the wall.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, the lead character is CGI, but there's points in the movie where you're watching and you're like, is that real or not? Because it was so well done. Yeah,
it's definitely, the trailers show that, too. Like, it's insane. They'll probably make a Disney park out of it, too, just like Avatar. Do you go to the movies a lot, or is it just a rare thing?
I used to go to the movies more. I find nowadays that I haven't been interested in as many movies, so I don't want to it's so expensive to go to the movies. I mean, by the time you get popcorn and a ticket and everything, it's like $30 for one night. Right. And so I tend to wait till everything comes on something streamable, so I'm not fronting up all that cash to be disappointed.
Yeah, besides from Marvel movies and Star Wars movies,
yeah,
I don't wait. I mean, I don't go to the movies for other things. And usually, like, if I miss a Marvel movie, like Ant-Man and Wasp or Solo, I didn't see Solo, they're on Netflix like a half a year later. So it's like...
Exactly.
You're scrolling through your list and you're like, oh, hey, I forgot that was a thing. So let's watch that. I couldn't even make it through Solo. I don't know about you, if you'd seen it, or... I
haven't seen it yet. Sadly, I haven't seen it yet.
Like, there's a part in the movie where he's signed up to be in the Imperial Academy. Hardly any spoiler here, and the guy's like, oh, do you have a last name? And he's like, no. He's like, Han Solo. I was like, come on. Just make his last name Solo. What do we need here?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. But yeah, the movie theaters around us are pretty nice. There's one that actually has like full service, pretty much, just and like reclining, if I can say the word, reclining chairs and stuff like that. Pretty fancy. I don't go to that one often because, like you said, it does get very expensive, especially when you get like, there's like full course meals there.
Yeah, exactly.
We were actually just in Columbus, and there's this huge mall there, and it actually has a dine-in theater experience that we went to. We didn't get anything to eat, but we saw Lego Movie Part 2, and it was huge, and there was like 6 people in there because it was late at night. I was like, yeah, this is the way to do it.
Oh, yeah. It's nice because, sometimes you go in. I remember the first time I went to the fancy VIP theater, I think I was the only person in there, like me and the person I went with. It was the whole theater to ourselves. It was like, this is nice.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But it is nice to be in an empty seating arrangement. I remember, I think we went to go see Get Out in theaters at like the same place. So many people were making quips during it. It was almost distracting. Like, at first it was kind of funny. The guy goes, oh, damn, he about to get killed. And you're like, okay, that's pretty funny. And then the fourth time he does it, it's like, okay, we can stop.
It's getting old.
Well, let's talk about the origins of the Twitch channel and why the name is CheeseWhis.
For sure. So, I never had an online identity. I bounced between a couple usernames, but I couldn't really stick to one. And I wasn't really passionate or in love with one. So I remember one day I was like, I need to come up with something witty. And you come up with something funny. So I came up with, well, CheeseWhis or CheeseWhis is another interpretation of it, a character from Dragon Ball. So it's kind of like a play on both. And of course, I love cheese. So,
Is there really a character from Dragon Ball named CheeseWhis?
His name's just Whis.
Oh, just Whis. Okay.
Just Whis.
I was about. Okay, I know carrot is carrot, and I know. Yeah. I don't.
Oh yeah.
It's like, what's cheese? Is it really just CheeseWhis in English? That'd be funny.
Oh yeah.
So you've been streaming a lot of this Twitch Sings thing. I have no clue what that is. I was going to ask you, what is that? Also, is it fun to play?
Okay, yeah. So Twitch Sings. It is a lot of fun. I mean, if you're into the whole karaoke thing, I was actually really surprised when I got into the beta. I've been applying for the beta for months.
Oh, it's a beta.
Yeah, so they're releasing it out slowly to streamers. Basically, you sign up, and then when your turn comes up in line, they unlock the ability to download the application because it's run through the Twitch app. It's just like another game in your library. Huh. But yeah, it's been a ton of fun, and the viewers seem to love it. And I don't know why, because I can't sing. So...
Well, see, I mean, you have a lot of classics here. A lot of the 90s stuff, like Save Tonight, Drops of Jupiter, Papa Roach. Ooh, boy, everyone knows I love Papa Roach. That's a joke. I don't like Papa Roach.
Oh, you don't? I love Papa Roach.
Oops. Is it just like a list of songs that they preload in there, or can you pretty much sing any song?
Because there's certain licensing agreements to be able to stream music, such as like radio stations, they have to get appropriate licenses to stream their music, because there's royalties and all that legal stuff involved. Twitch is actually working on getting deals with different artists and get the licensing for these songs. So it is a limited list right now, but they're adding new songs every week. So that's really cool.
It kind of sounds like a rock band or something like that, except you're singing.
It actually, it's Twitch partnered with Harmonix to get this whole thing working. Yeah.
Okay. Now it all makes sense. Oh man, I didn't know. I'm just scrolling through the list of songs you played. I thought it ended at Kryptonite there, but it just keeps going.
Oh yeah, I was busy.
So, are these like separate streams per song, or are they clips? Like, did you make them into videos, clips?
So at the end of each song, you have the ability to upload that past performance. So it is just an individual clip of that song. I believe I have the full stream available there as well. But you can just upload each song as you play it. And after a while, I'm like, whatever, I'm just going to upload every song. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So let's talk about your video game career. How long have you been playing, and what was your first game ever played?
My first game, at least that I can prominently remember in my head, would have been Lion King on Super Nintendo.
Oh boy.
I remember that was probably my first rage quit as well.
Well, you see, mine was Aladdin, so we kind of got some common ground there with the Disney
games. Yeah. But I've been playing probably since I was 2 or 3. My dad was a huge gamer, so that's kind of how we always spent time together, was either playing games or I'd be watching him play a game, or and he always had a huge collection of games, so I always had tons of stuff to pick from, and I've just never stopped.
That's awesome. Yeah, a lot of people, their parents were gamers. Me personally, to be honest with you, no one in my family liked video games except for one of my uncles, and then one Christmas I got an N64 from my parents, and I was like, I don't know what this is. Because no one had talked about video games to me. Sure, I played an arcade cabinet of Metal Slug, but other than that, I was like, I don't know what this is, and they were expecting me to be really happy. I'm like, I don't know what it is. I was last time I had Joyful Death on the stream. We were talking a lot about how being a female on YouTube/Twitch now can be a bit of a hassle, especially when the male demographic just paints you as generic streamer girl. What do you think about regular streamer girls? Like, there's one called Amarath who is literally almost naked on screen playing Just Dance and stuff like that. And then how do you make yourself different from those kind of streamers?
So I guess how I try to make myself different. First of all, if anyone ever comes into the stream with the expectation of me, playing Just Dance in a pair of short shorts, I make sure that I put them in their place, and that's not this kind of stream. Like,
Good.
You're just gonna have me playing video games. This is the focus. But personally, for me, everyone's kind of got their own niche, what they bring for entertainment quality. Some people, are really good conversationalists. Some people are just really good at video games. So I just think you need to focus on what makes you good. So because I don't think anything badly of those girls, because obviously they've got something working for them, and they're owning it.
Right.
And it's good for you. Me personally, the reason I started streaming was because I wanted to encourage good conversation, and I wanted to share these video game experiences with people. So that's how I kind of run my channel and differentiate myself from other female streamers.
I think people that come to a channel or DM people. Oh, are you okay over there?
Oh, yeah, I am okay.
But I think people who come to a stream expecting a certain thing from anyone who's on the screen, whether it's male or female, I think that they need to remember that everyone's different. Not everyone's gonna be as comfortable with streaming and stuff like that. So I think they need to kind of back off and think about what they're about to say. Because I think you did send out a message on Twitter with some creepy guy messaging you and putting you down. I was like, this is really stupid. Like, to me personally, like, I never would have thought that anyone would send messages like that. Although I've seen the like stuff on Tinder and stuff, but this is a little bit separate. I don't get it.
Oh, and it's almost a daily occurrence. I'll follow some new streamers or streaming organizations on Twitter, and the first message I'll get from them, are you my e-girl?
Wow.
No. No, I'm not.
Oh boy. Well, at least there's the block function everywhere now.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, so I can just block that message, and here's 15 more.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're a moderator for Crankage Games now, in his Discord and in his live streams. I was wondering how you and Crankage got to know each other, because he was on the podcast earlier. Humble plug.
So I actually met him through Twitter. When I first started streaming, which would have been, I started streaming, when was it? 2017, probably June was when I got serious about it. And I think I met Crankage around the end of August.
So, well, what changed it from being something not serious to something that is serious?
Oh, streaming?
Yeah.
I guess.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
I guess I just, I had done a few streams and I really enjoyed it, even though I didn't have a ton of viewership or anything like that. I just enjoyed being able to talk about my favorite games and discuss different things about them, whether it be the development of the game or any history I knew about the developer. So yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna really push this and try to see where I can go with it at least.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear why people went from, I'm not going to do this seriously to, oh yeah, I'm in for the long run. So that's cool. Anyways, sorry, back to Crankage.
So yeah, I met him at the end of August. We had talked a little bit because I've always wanted to get into game development. So we had some common ground there, and he was able to give me a lot of advice and speak to me about the development process. Cause I come from a background in coding, but I'd never, I thought about developing my own game, but I hadn't never really tried to figure out, how do I start this to get a finished product? So he definitely helped me in that aspect to figure out exactly what I needed to do to develop games.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a tricky business to get into as well. I've talked to a few other people who, whether they make indie games or they're starting to make indie games, who have said, it's a little bit of a process to get in there, but once you got your foot in the door, the platforms are pretty much open to you as long as you get enough people playing the game and reviewing it and stuff like that. So that's
absolutely
awesome. Do you have like an idea for a game right now that you're kind of penciling out right now, or is it just something that you want to get into and we'll see?
I am actually in the, I guess would be the pre-production stages, just kind of planning and brainstorming. I haven't really fully envisioned what I want. It's probably going to be like a 2D side-scroller puzzle type game, but I'm just kind of laying out the story in my head.
Is it influenced by anything, or?
It is. It's okay. The one thing I always wanted to do with video games is I wanted to create something memorable. I would look at stuff like The Last of Us and the Walking Dead, stuff that was very story driven and had very powerful messages behind it. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of the direction I want to go. I'm right now I'm looking at potentially incorporating some sort of theme in domestic violence. Because the one thing I've noticed is domestic violence isn't really represented in video games all that much. I know that Detroit Become Human did touch on violence in a home, child abuse and stuff like that. But apart from that, there hasn't really been much representation. Now, I don't know how exactly I'm going to meld the two together. That's kind of the difficult part right now. But I always wanted to make something that was memorable and people could relate to, and it would send a positive message.
Well, that's a great mission. That is a great mission. I got to tell you that. So on your Steam curators list, also known as Cheesy Reviews, you've reviewed a good amount of games. Is there something special to like doing a nice snippet of a review, get all the information there? How's that process work?
So I try to when I do because we are limited on amount of characters for a curator review. Mm-hmm. I try to think of the main points that would make me want to purchase a game. So that would be my time versus money. How much time versus value. Mm-hmm. And any fun things that I found about it, whether it be the gameplay or maybe it was just the dialogue, because essentially this is a representation of the game. Someone's going to read that and they're going to decide whether or not they want to purchase that game. So right. If it is something that I enjoy and I would recommend to other people, I try to just hit key points that would sell me personally. I guess I look at it from that point of view.
Okay. Understandable. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of reviewing on the channel. After a while, it felt more like a job than anything else because, you had to play the game, write up a review, get everything edited together. I always think about going back to it, but then once I start on something, I go, yeah, I'd rather just do podcasts because it's more open forum. I can kind of talk wherever I want to talk, what I want to talk about. Of course, I still have some structure in there, but it's not like, a fully fledged written out review, something like that. But I think your reviews are nice and concise, and they also convey your points without too much hassle, too much reading. There's a lot of people who come on to Steam and they just write paragraphs on paragraphs, and I'm like, it's interesting, but I have the attention span of a ferret, so what's the final say here?
I used to have a ferret, so I get that.
Well, hey, let's move on to a little game that I put together called Name of a Cheese or Name of a Font. Because your name is CheeseWhis, I thought might as well pull this game out because it makes sense somewhat, kind of, maybe.
Okay.
So I have 5 fonts and 5 cheeses. Mixed them up in the blender. We'll see if you can get them correct. Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, the first one's a gimme. Mozzarella.
Cheese.
Yes. All right. Lindonana. Lindona, that's it.
Font?
That is a font, yes. All right, we have Bucka.
Cheese?
No, that is a font. They're very close. They seem very close in my eyes, too. All right, so next we have Roquefort.
Roquefort. I want to go with cheese, but yeah, we'll go with cheese.
That is a cheese. It's a sheep milk cheese from south of France.
Interesting.
Ooh, and it works together with Bleu d'Avaray. Ooh, fancy. All right, next we have Andola.
Andola. That sounds like a cheese.
Oh, that's a font.
Damn it. I just want everything to be cheese.
Everything should be cheese, really. All right, next one is Brie.
That is cheese.
I know that
one.
Yeah. Next up we have Havarti.
That is also cheese.
That is cheese, yes. All right, I think three more to do.
Okay.
Next one is Junio.
Font?
That is a font. Next one, second to last. Fracconetti.
Font?
Font. And finally, we have... Ooh, I can't say letters with umlauts. Is it Ardolst? I think it's it's German.
It's German. Okay.
Adalost. It's pronounced in American English, I should say, Adalost, but it could be Erdalost. I believe from my 3 years of high school German.
All right. Got a 50-50 chance on this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with cheese.
That is correct. Not too bad. Only missed 2. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Not bad.
Not too bad for a first timer of the cheese game. The first and last. Last question for today is: you've posted a lot of random GIFs on your Twitter, of course. Which one has been your favorite to post so far?
Oh, that's a hard one. There's so many good ones, but I'd have to say my favorite one was the one that I feel got the most reaction from people. And it was this one where it was just like a bunch of hands on the ground.
Oh, I think I remember that one.
It was just like it was like a body with a bunch of hands. And they were just kind of moving on the ground, and it was kind of creepy, to be honest. It was really creepy, but it did garner a lot of reaction from people.
Something from Resident Evil or something there.
Yeah.
Also, hey, what's your favorite wing flavor?
My favorite wing flavor, you know what? I'm old fashioned. I like honey garlic.
That is good. I get the honey barbecue at one of the places that I go to. But
okay.
I think actually no, it's honey garlic barbecue. That is what it is exactly.
Oh,
it's delicious. It's a place called.
I might have to try that.
Yeah, it's called Hooley House. It's around here in Ohio. I don't know if you have it where you live, but
no, I don't think we have that up in Canada. But
yeah, you might not. I mean, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Any other flavors that you're a fan of in the wing style? I always like getting the Louisiana flavored because it's the only dry rub that I'll get personally because it has a little bit of kick, but it also has a lot of flavor.
Okay. I tend to edge away from anything spicy. I'm not a spicy fan. For dry rubs, I like salt and pepper.
Yep, that's not spicy at all.
Yeah, not spicy at all. But yeah, I tend to stick with barbecue as long as it's not on like the really hot scale.
Mm-hmm.
And anything with honey or garlic in it because I love garlic. Or lemon. Lemon's also a good choice if they've got like a lemon pepper. Mm-hmm. That's also really good.
I just thought of this. Do you guys celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Canada there?
We do. We do. Yes.
Now here's a bigger question. Do you food color your river or whatever you have near you green for the occasion?
I don't think so. Like we do have a lot of there is like a lot of green things in restaurants and food and stuff like that. And I mean there's some decoration, but yeah, I don't think we actually color our river green, but actually it's probably pretty green already. Our the major river that we have here, the Red River. I mean there's a reason it's called the Red River. It's definitely not blue.
Yeah, the only reason I asked that is because Pittsburgh, they have a river going straight through their city, or right through their city. It's not really straight; it's more of a curve. But anyways, that's beside the point. They literally color it green, like it's literally green. It's like, is that safe for the environment? I'm not sure. But hey, our beer's green and our water's green, so whatever.
That's actually really cool. But yeah,
All right, well, that's all the time I have today with CheeseWhis or CheeseWhis. I just want to thank her once again for coming onto the podcast, talking to me about a whole bunch of things. If you want to, all our links will be down in the description below. Twitter, Twitch, Steam curators. Also, on the end card will be. Well, I guess you don't have. Do you have a YouTube channel or no?
I do. I'm not too active with it currently. I'm just using it to upload past Twitch VODs, but I'm hoping in the future to get more content on there.
All right, well, if you could send me a link to that, I'll put it at the end cards as well, just so people can find you there as well. There's a whole different places you can get. But anyways, is there anything else you want to say before we end the podcast?
Well, thank you for having me today. It's been great talking about everything, and yeah, I guess my final message would be to anyone who is looking to get into streaming or game development, just to do it. That's the best thing you can do is just jump in head first.
Yeah, don't miss your opportunities, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, hey, thanks for coming on once again. And as always, I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, and this has been another episode of the Ferret Business Podcast.